Welcome to Self Mastery Success: How to Effectively Eliminate Self Sabotage, Elevate Your Energy, and Lead in Your Work and Life to Achieve Success. We are all about creating excellence, and this is an interview series where we dive deep into the minds of high performing leaders and industry experts to unlock the strategies behind their success. Each episode offers you invaluable insights that you can apply to elevate in your personal and professional life. Be sure to check out the description below for more details about today's guest, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on the actionable tips and strategies from these experts. Also, you can access exclusive gifts and resources from our experts that will support you on your journey to creating excellence in your life. Today's guest, we have Miss Anna Garcia, and I'm super excited for this conversation. Hi. Tell the audience a little bit about you and who do you love to work with?
Hey everyone, I'm Anna and I'm a life coach, a law of attraction coach from Sydney, Australia. And I've been coaching for about 13 years now. I work with mostly women, but I work with all people from different areas of life who are fascinated, interested, and want to know more about the law of attraction and how to apply it more in their life so they can get more of what they want.
Yes, Anna. And so, okay, without further ado, you guys are gonna hear some miracles because this is about manifesting miracles. So, how did your life? I know you're your law of attraction coach. How did your life change by discovering the law of attraction? Like, tell us a bit more about your story.
Okay, so I never was interested in the law of attraction. I was actually very religious and I had never really heard of it. Initially, when I was growing up, I was planning to be a lawyer. I had joined a missionary group and they were really helpful in that they taught me what life was not. It was all about hell and all the things you're doing wrong. And when I left, I actually ran away. I had this burning question. If that's not what life is about, what is life about? And I came across a book called The Law of Attraction from Abraham Hicks. And when I read it, at the time, I had developed an illness. I don't know if you know lupus. It's an autoimmune disease. Your immune system normally protects your body. In this case, it was attacking my body. It made sense because I didn't like myself very much. I was comparing, I was thinking, I wish I was someone else. You're so ugly, you're a failure, you're this, you're that. That's the kind of talk I was giving myself. So naturally, I developed this disease. I was told I would never be cured of it. I had bleeding eyes. I was in bed with fever for a month. I had swollen joints. It was pretty bad. I was an old person while I was young. But when I came across this book, it said that you could have anything that you want. And so I had started just one simple thing, and that was, what if I could get well? What if I changed the story to myself? And I began with a 15-minute visualization every day. No idea if it would work. Figured out I got nothing to lose, doesn't cost me anything. And I would imagine this electricity coming through me and each cell connecting. I would literally imagine a new body. At the same time, I realized my self-talk had to change. When I first discovered lupus, I didn't know what it was. So the doctors gave me this big explanation. You can get sick, anything from your head to your toes. You'll never be cured. They gave me this whole script. So whenever someone asked me, what's lupus? I gave them the whole spiel. I love to talk about the sickness. Whenever I'd go into the doctor's appointments, I would just presume this is natural, this is normal to be around sickness. But I opened my eyes for the first time and I started noticing, hey, these people are really old and walking sticks and arthritis, and I'm still young. If I keep the script up that I'm saying, I'm going to end up like them. So I started telling myself, I'm feeling fantastic. My body is full of vitality. My cells love me. And I didn't notice any difference, but about a year later, I noticed I wasn't getting sick anymore. And so when I was a bit rebellious, don't do this, everyone, but I stopped taking the medication because it has side effects on the eyes. So I stopped taking it because I knew inside I was already well. Now, I didn't tell my rheumatologist, and he was the head of the hospitals. So he knew his stuff. And he said, don't you dare stop taking the medication, but I did. And we did the DNA test. and I saw it was 0. Now, the count for lupus, when it was inflamed, was 1,200, and now it was 0. And so I waited another year before I told him. I finally told him I wasn't taking medication. And he said, "What? Are you crazy? Like, you have to get back on it. It's going to come back, even if it's a half dose." And he made me a script of a half dose. Did not take anything because I knew I felt well. So another year passed, and then he saw it was still 0. And he said, "This is miraculous. Like, I've only seen this in 2% of cases, but clearly mindset is everything." I'm not allowed to tell people that, but you can. So when that happened, I couldn't believe it. And I thought, wow, I didn't change my diet. I didn't change my actions. All I did was change the image in my mind and the talk I gave to myself. And then I realized how important self-talk is, and how important it is what you're watching, what you're talking to your friends about. I had completely switched that, and now I was a completely different person. And I haven't been on medication in years. So it's interesting because a lot of people send their friends to me who've been given these diagnoses, and they said, well, it doesn't have to have the final say because you have the final say. And I started applying it with other areas of my life, and I started teaching it because I find this fascinating. So that's the gist of my story.
Can we give a round of applause for a decade plus strong? Like, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm just in awe. Like, I love this conversation. I do want to support people because there are a lot of people who they've done affirmations or they did it. You know, what is the secret? What is the secret to people actually aligning with the manifestation? Because I feel like some people do it, but it doesn't work for them. And so people think it's woo woo and it's not real. What would you say to those people?
Okay. Understand that you're an infinite being, but you allowed yourself to be kind of hypnotized into being limited. So there's a process. So here we are, we're infinite, we're unlimited in our thinking, we can achieve anything. But when we entered into this body, we allowed our vibration to lower. And a symptom of that is kind of temporary amnesia of who you really are. So this journey is discovering or remembering who you really are. So you've got these kind of challenges and obstacles, like you're in a virtual video game, okay? But this is the game of life. We're going through and discovering that we're programmed into fear, and we're transmuting this energy into love. So it doesn't happen instantly. You've been trained in how many decades of this thinking? This is the thinking. It's fear-based, it's limited-based, it's like sickness-based. So you're immersed in this, but this is the game. And there's another part of you that's like this little voice that's saying, what if you can go beyond that? What if you can, and you go little by little. So for people that are finding, okay, I'm doing the affirmations, I'm doing all these steps, but nothing's happening, understand that the universe is not responding to your words. It's not even responding to your actions, it's responding to your vibration. It's responding to the energy. Now, the energy is influenced by the words you say to yourself and the images you entertain in your mind. When I used to drive, for some reason, I would flash in my mind, I'm having an accident. And it was automatic. And I know why it was automatic, because I grew up with the news blasting in the morning about how terrible the world is and how bad things are going to happen around the corner. So that was the program in my mind. So what do I do to transmute that energy? Well, first of all, you have to be aware. Be aware of the feeling. The feeling is the indicator. The moment you have a negative feeling, it indicates that there's a thought that's misaligned. Okay, so it's not just, oh, I'm going to say I'm rich and etc. It's, what am I feeling? I'm really feeling poor right now. Okay, what do I want it to be? Well, I can't say I'm a millionaire straight away, but I might bridge it by saying I'm open to the idea that maybe I can allow more wealth into my life. So what we're doing is we're soothing the thought rather than trying to force something to happen. For each person, the technique will be different, and it'll be different in every moment of the day. So for me, I'm quite an artist. So for me, the visualization works well. For someone else, it might be scripting. For someone else, it's all different for every person for a reason, because we all have different stories, different life experiences that have shaped us. And so when we're working through this maze of our limited thoughts, only certain keys will open the door in certain moments of time. And so only certain teachers will hit that spot. That's why there's so many teachers. So what I might say will definitely not go well with my husband. He's corporate. Okay, this is too crazy. But for another person who's just discovered the law of attraction, yeah, I'm the right fit for them. So that's what I've discovered. So before I used to be like, oh, I'm the savior of the world. And I realized, no, I'm not, because I don't gel with some people right now. And that other teacher might be better for them right now, because that message is getting through and unlocking that door of that limiting belief. So we're all unique. We're all have our own story. We're all made up differently. Each person has their own game in this virtual reality game of life. And their journey is that higher self within them that's going, go here, go there, listen to this, go that way. Does that make sense?
Yes,
This
most
is
definitely.
so powerful. I'm like, Anna,
Ooh.
this is so, I'm like, we need more time. But what's coming up for me, and I really want to point this out because Anna said she used visualization on her journey, and that's her tool. But she also said we're all individuals, so we get to choose our teacher, our tool in order to get through the process of manifestation. That's what stood out to me, because a lot of people were like, well, I'm doing the visualization, but the visualization isn't working. But maybe you're a talker, maybe you need to talk it through, maybe you she said scripted, maybe you need to script it out. Take the coaching of what she's giving us, but also trust yourself on what do you need in order to get to that manifestation.
Yes, so you might have an inspiration to read a book, but what you do is you feel for which one's more exciting, which one's drawing me. So we operate from the mind a lot, but we lost touch with the guidance that we're having from our higher self, which is through our emotions. So our emotions are speaking to us. So right now you get that feeling, maybe I shouldn't go down there because I got this feeling. So this intuition, that's guidance, that's the powerful guidance that we have. But no, we're action-based, we're world-based. We're not realizing this invisible is where our power is. And so, yes, that guidance, that's why meditation or even taking time to be quiet is really important. You connect to this higher power. Otherwise, we're like headless chickens. We're trying to figure out with our physical senses, with my eyes, they're limited. They can't see anything. Really, the infinite sees everything. The physical eyes are like, imagine your taste, sense of smell, sight, that's a limited bandwidth in all the frequencies of the universe. That's like dogs can hear beyond that. Okay, so if we're basing our life on this limited bandwidth of what we can see, it will be very limited. But when you tap into your infinite self, which is already in you, that's multi-dimensional, sees into the future, it doesn't even see time. It sees all things at the same time. So imagine you access that viewpoint, you see your life experiences very different.
Yes, everything everywhere all at once. That's for sure. Like,
yeah.
you know what? You literally
Yeah.
you said something very important, and when this concept, and I want you to speak on it just briefly, like ask and you shall receive. So you mentioned before you was in the car, and now you got all of a sudden you got these thoughts of driving as like driving to a cliff or whatever it is. But what came up for me was that if what we ask is what we receive, would that mean that what we accepting in our environment, what we're allowing, what we're permitting is what we're going to be attracting as well? So if we're allowing these, let's say, negative music to be in our environment, that are we giving it permission to be a part of our reality? Are we giving this if someone's talking poverty to us, or if someone's talking something outside of what we want, but we're not doing anything about it, is that by default are we attracting that into our life and that's becoming our reality?
Well, just understand your mind is like sensitive, light sensitive film. So if you're constantly impressed with these suggestions, it will become part of your makeup. Now, you know if it has influenced you, if it has dropped your emotions. Okay, a person that can be so steady, so aligned, I suppose like Deepak Chopra or someone that's so aligned can be exposed to these things and use it for their power. Okay, because they're so steady in their vibration, that's what meditation does, that connection. It makes you steady before you go out in the world. But if a person's not steady, they're imprinted left, right, left, right. So they're going to be influenced, and you'll know because you could be happy and then you talk to someone and then immediately your mood drops. Now you know you've allowed them to influence you, but you don't have to. If I remember I said to someone, I'm going to this destination, and they said to me, oh, they're shooting tourists over there. Okay, but I learned this technique from Abraham Hicks. That's their experience. I choose something else and I immediately activate what I want. When I was initially going to Europe years ago, I remember I was thinking there's going to be a terrorist attack, there's going to be this, there's going to be that, we're going to lose money, someone's going to pickpocket me. I was thinking all these things, and I thought 2 weeks before leaving, I can't just sit there and let that run. That's going to be my life. So I wrote down all my fears. Then I wrote, what do I prefer? And I wrote down a list of what I prefer. So I activated the opposite, because this is an inclusion-based universe. So this helps, that you only want to activate what you want to include. Makes sense. Okay, because people go, I don't have money, I don't have this, I lack that. Instead, say what you have or what you want. So I wrote a list. I have a smooth and seamless flight. I have cultural experience. I meet the kindest people. I wrote the opposite. Okay. And what I find, I do this all the time. What I find, that list, about 90% of it comes true, better than the default. Okay, so now I'm transmuting energy. I'm not living life by default. I'm creating this design of my life. Right now, I'm not a perfect manifester, but even the things that are not working for me, I've now switched my thinking to say, this is benefiting me. I don't know how yet, but I've decided that this is working in my favor. Okay, if there's traffic, this is working in my favor. And then I find that life shifts to that. The moment that you have assigned a definition that something's negative or setting you back, that is how it will unfold. So if you can just enter a pause in there and say, this is bad unless it's not. What if this is part of what's working for me? What if this traffic has prevented me from getting into an accident further up? I just switch everything, because nothing has meaning but the meaning you assign to it. And then the quality of your life and the enjoyment of your life depends on the meaning you assigned. Okay? I talk to friends and some little mishap happens. Oh, this is terrible. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. It's not. But I understand. I used to say this is terrible. Okay, so it's because we're still journeying, that person's journeying where she is. And so we can't even judge that. Everyone's on their individual journey. Okay, so, but what we do have to be attentive to is our own journey, because we want to enjoy this life. We've got to pay attention to those things. Okay. Otherwise, they will continue. Okay.
I'm really restraining myself because I'm like, I have so many more questions. We get to co-create something, Anna. Let the audience know explain your gift, the gift that you're gifting the audience.
Yes. Okay, so what I've done is I've written a lot of the common, negative scripts that are happening silently in our minds. And I thought, okay, what is it that I do? And I flipped it over, and I've written some basic affirmations. So I've made them up as such. So soothe different areas. So they're affirmation cards, but it's called Soothe Your Greatest Fears. So there's money, health, and relationship and success. And so you can download it, print it, and just have little cards, and you can just read those just to soothe your fears. And I say soothe because this is not I'm poor and now I'm $1 million rich. This is little incremental shifts to make it softer. And so then you're acclimatizing to this new kind of thinking. That's what you have to do. It's otherwise you're going to reject it. So we're trying to find the right fit. And of course, if these don't work, you try something else. That's how this works. You find whatever pathway, whether it's reading a book, whether it's going to the beach or whatever, you find which one soothes me right now from where I'm standing. And today this might work good today. Tomorrow it might be another teacher. And you got to allow yourself to go through that.
Okay. How can people connect with you deeper?
Well, you can visit my website, and I have a blog there. I have a free guide on how to boost your attraction power. And I also have my Instagram, and I think these links are provided. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram, I do a lot of posts and I just share downloads and thoughts that I get to the audience to help them on this journey.
And what are your last words for the audience?
My last words is pay attention to how you feel, because your feelings are your guidance. And that just remember that life is supposed to be fun and that you were meant to have everything that you want. And the only thing in the way is the belief that's behind it that you can't.
Yes, yes, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. I'm reminded that we are all in charge of our vibration, so use it wisely and wealthily. And so thank you, audience, as well, for tuning in to another episode of Self-Mastery Success. Please share your key insight and valuable takeaways that stood out to you the most from today's conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments because we love to hear your perspective. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest expert interviews. And you can also click the notify me button to receive a reminder for when we next go live with these interviews. And you can join us and ask questions in real time. Just remember, every expert in the series has gifted you some incredible resources and tools to support you. And it's on our gifts page. So check the description below for the link and more info about today's guest as well. Remember, achieving excellence, having self-mastery success starts, manifesting your miracle starts with aligning your goals, time, and energy. And we are here to guide you, to lead you yourself every step of the way. See you on the next interview. Take care.